welcome everybody to today's episode of the Medical Device Marketing Podcast. So today I'm here with Jenna Ransom. Jenna, welcome.
Oh, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So Jenna is our Senior Content Marketing Manager here at Podimos, so is very well positioned to talk about everything content marketing. This is definitely a huge passion of ours. So why is it such a passion? Well, 82% of marketers are now actively investing in content marketing, and this isn't a surprise. But the question is, what's all the fuss about? So in this podcast, we're going to run through what content marketing is, what are the benefits of content marketing that you can know about, and also how can you implement content marketing into your medical device strategy. Finally, do you need an agency to deliver your content marketing strategy? And you may be surprised by what we say here, so make sure you stay till the end. But this hopefully will all take place within 15 minutes, Jenna, so we're going to talk nice and succinctly and not too quickly, so that we can get all the information out in a nice quick time. So, Jenna, first question. How do we define content marketing? Because I think this is a term that's banded around along with inbound marketing, content marketing. What does content marketing actually mean and what is it?
Well, it is just as it sounds. It is creating content in the name of marketing. So content can include articles, social media posts, videos, podcasts, infographics, brochures, guides, anything you can think of really that you are putting out into the public. But for me, what differentiates content marketing from other kinds of marketing is that it's not directly promotional. It's all about building trust, being unbiased and honest, and engaging your audience on the topics that they want to be engaged on, rather than talking to them about the things that you think they want to know. You're talking to them instead about the things that they do actually want to know. So, of course, there is a time and a place for promotion, but for me, content marketing is all about reaching your audience before they're ready for that promotion, before they're ready to hear more about your device, more about the services you offer. It's reaching out to them beforehand, engaging them on the topics, the industry debates, the problems that they're having, and then subtly introducing yourself to them. So that, for me, is what content marketing is all about. It's all about building trust and not directly promoting yourself.
Yes, and so when you say not directly promoting yourself, can you give an example of maybe some of the types? You have given some examples, but are there any other examples you can give of types of content? And I think we also said that it's about the awareness, so getting people to become aware of you by delivering or giving them content that is really relevant to what they want to find out about. But there's another stage to this as well, which we speak to a lot of our clients about, which is actually about helping them to research your technology better before they even get in contact. So what type of materials can we be putting out there which will fit that remit and which isn't promotional?
Yeah, so I think you have reviews, so talking about your device or your services or even other devices, but doing it in an honest way, honestly discussing the problems that might come with your device and offering the solutions. And when we talk about problems, it could also be the problems that they're experiencing that your device could help with, but you're not necessarily injecting yourself into that conversation quite as much as you would if you were directly promoting yourself.
Actually, there's a lot of really interesting topics that we can talk about within what that content looks like. A fantastic book on this for anybody who's listening to this podcast is They Ask You Answer. It's by Marcus Sheridan, and it talks about the big five. Actually, the big 5+2. I think only the big five are in the They Ask You Answer book. But this talks about the topics that everybody searches for before they buy a product. And this is the same in medical devices across industry. So if you want to get a really good start in understanding what types of content you need to be writing about, They Ask You Answer is a fantastic place to start. And it is what it says. They ask, you answer. And it's really making sure that you answer things in a way that other people are not willing to answer them. And I think there's a huge opportunity in medical device for that as well. So that's really exciting. So what are the benefits, Jenna, of content marketing?
I think for me, like the biggest benefit is building trust with your audience, because I think trust is the absolute key in marketing. Nobody buys from a company if they don't trust them. So having that, they trust that you're going to give them a good product, you're going to be there throughout, and they're not going to be swindled, essentially. I think that is incredibly important. And, producing all this content is going to help you do that by providing value to your readers, giving them something that's actually valuable, genuinely useful to them, so they know that you're invested in, not their well-being, but you do care about and you understand your audience.
But actually more, it's
And
helping them to
also,
make their own decisions. So you talk about, providing value for them. It's actually so that they can make their own decisions. So when it's unbiased content, because, inherently, and I think we all probably know this if we're honest with ourselves, people often don't trust salespeople or sales teams in the way they should, or not necessarily should, that might not be the right word, but there's an inherent mistrust. So if you can provide unbiased information on your website, and they can discover for themselves the good, the bad, the ugly, and how actually this will fit into their lives and their practice, you build that trust and you help them to move through their buyer's journey. So it's really adding value to what they're trying to achieve.
exactly, yeah, you're empowering your audience. I also think it's about building relationships. When you start putting content out there, you can start getting reactions, engagement from your audience, and you can react with those reactions and engage directly with them and build that trust. Again, you're showing you're not just a company, or you're not just behind a screen, you're actual real people that they can interact with, that they can trust. And also, I think content marketing is massive for building brand awareness, because you're reaching out to those people who aren't directly looking for your company. They're not directly looking for a product. They're researching an issue or a problem they're having, or they want to hear some more information about something. You're reaching all of that whole audience that doesn't know about you yet. So you're getting in front of those people that are engaged, they're ready to learn more. And I think that's absolutely invaluable, and you're going to bring in like a massive audience that way.
No, I think so. And but search engine optimization, there's so when we're looking at content, there's different ways of doing it. Because I think one of the biggest things we see, and we'll talk about this when it's, what are the sort of how you get started and what you can expect. But content marketing to start off with can take a long time, especially with SEO, to really get going. So you have to have your expectations correctly set. Because it can take 9 months to 12 months to really start ranking in your actual position on Google. And you have to have a lot of articles out there or a lot of content out there for Google to really start seeing, or for it to really make an impact on bringing people into your website. So I think it takes a lot longer than people often think for SEO. But once you're there, it's invaluable, because it's going to take the next person the same amount of time to get there. So you're potentially 9 to 12 months ahead of everybody else, which is really exciting. And the one big thing that we always talk about is that content never sleeps, which is really exciting. So, once you are up in those search engines, you're there all the time, every day, in every geography, nearly every geography. So, yeah. So how do we get started with content marketing?
Well, I think the key to content marketing is really understanding your audience, what their wants, their problems. So we would recommend that the best way to do this is not only by social listening, so doing your research on social media, what are people talking about, but also engaging and collaborating with your sales team, because they're the people that are dealing with your customers on a day-to-day basis. They know exactly what questions they're asking. They know what their problems are, what the big topics in the industry are at the moment, and they can share those with your marketing team. And by collaborating together, you're ensuring that you are creating content that is directly, it's exactly what your audience wants to see. You could also do SEO research to learn more about your audience, tools like SEMrush, Google AdWords. It can all tell you what people are searching for. It gives you a good idea of the type of things that people are researching online. So by talking to your sales team, doing your social listening, your online research, you can start creating topics, and then you look at the best way to distribute this content. So it's unlikely that you've gone through your whole marketing career without posting anything online yet. So you can start to look at that data from what you've been posting in the past and see what's worked, what hasn't. and then you can start doing more of that and sharing that data in that way that's really engaging your audience already, so you know that you are producing the content that they want to see.
Yes, yes. And it's the I think the biggest thing that we see is the collaboration with the sales teams. As in, that's the biggest thing that we don't see a lot of the time. We see more siloed sometimes, but when you do get the sales team included, as you said, they know all the answers, or they know, well, they actually know a lot of the answers as well. They know all the questions that they're being asked from their physicians. And so then if we can get those answers written in content, not only do you have standardized messaging, you save the time from your sales team, but you have relevant content that then they're needing to use all the time. The other side of that, of course, is that content then directs people back to your website, because that's where that content is housed, which then increases your search engine rankings, all those sort of good things as well. So yeah, I think getting started is definitely starting with the sales team and understanding everything that they're hearing, and then going through the other sections.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. So here's the big topic, which we said we'll address right at the beginning. And so do you need an agency? This is a very controversial topic. Do you need an agency to actually do an effective inbound marketing campaign?
I'm sure this is something you can speak more knowledgeably about than me, but I think companies.
But we know it from our own team. So I know how much work you put in. Like, you are working all the time on all of our content. It's non-stop. So yeah, I think you do understand this extremely well.
A full-on marketing or content marketing strategy is a full-time job. You know, we aim to write 3 articles a week, a podcast, social media posts, videos, and it's a lot. It's a lot of work, and it requires really understanding your business, your industry, to be able to do that. And maybe, you know, you could get an agency to do that, but is it better to have it in-house and know that the people creating that content really understand your business and they are fully dedicated to getting all this content out, because it is something that takes a lot of commitment. So you have to make sure that, you know, you have the people who are committed. That is their only priority, is getting that content out. Would you agree with that?
I would totally agree with that. I think actually I would go even further and say an agency is not the right model to really deliver you an amazingly effective content marketing strategy or plan, for the reasons you said, that you know, the agency is not the expert when it comes to speaking to your sales team and writing up the content there. The budget would be astronomical, you know, because you would actually be employing them on a full-time basis plus some more. You know, so really you need, if you're going to do a very effective content marketing strategy, you need to have, you know, a content marketing manager in place, probably a copywriter, but they may be the same thing to start off with, and then a videographer as well, so that you can capture all this footage and get it out. So I think the only place an agency fits in this is guiding you on how to get this right, because there's so much that goes into a really effective content marketing, you know, bringing the whole team in, getting the enthusiasm, making sure everyone's on the right track, because this is a 12 to 18 month activity, you know. So if you're on the wrong track, at what point do you realize you're on the wrong track? So I think, you know, having an agency to guide you through it makes a lot of sense, but really it's so that you are then totally self-sufficient at the end, and you have a full content marketing system in your in-house, which is delivering, you know, passively delivering leads. But I think you can't have an agency. Exactly. I do think I think it'd be cost prohibitive, just because we see the amount of time that goes into doing a really effective content marketing strategy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Excellent. So is there anything else that you think people need to know about content marketing? What are the negatives, Jenna, of content marketing? We haven't spoken about that. What do people need to think about before they start a content marketing strategy? I know one thing, but I'm going to wait.
I think we spoke about it a bit before. Like, it is very time consuming. And it's also, you know, it's not, for the beginning part, for the first couple of months, the first year, it's not rewarding. It takes a long time to see the results. But once you do start to see the results, obviously you look back and you realize it was all completely worth it.
And
but
yeah,
it's a bit of a nerve-wracking time at the beginning, because you're putting all this energy, all this effort into creating all this content, and the results aren't as you'd expect. So
or
it's
they
not a
don't
quick
happen.
win strategy.
Yes, they need to be. They take 6 to 9 months, slightly longer maybe, to be impacted. But there are things we can do to speed that up, and that comes with really involving your sales team. That's the number one thing you can do to speed up a content marketing strategy.
Mm-hmm.
So excellent, good. Well, Jenna, thank you very much for attending or speaking on today's podcast. So if anybody else would like to know more about inbound content marketing and understand how you can implement this within your company, feel free to get in contact via LinkedIn or on our website or via one of our chatbots. And it'd be a pleasure to speak with you. So have a great day, and we look forward to seeing you in the next Medical Device Marketing podcast.